back. It's Tuesday. Sorry we didn't have a show yesterday, but obviously no NBA games. Not a whole lot to talk about, but we got 2 games today, so we're going to try to get to some money. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Obviously NFL back, so nobody worried about us, about the NBA over the weekend, really, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody watching NFL, even me, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go to SBR Picks /NBA. Check out all the articles that we have over there. Pretty much whatever type of sport you like to bet on, NFL as well. We got articles for whatever type of sport you like to bet on. So that's my guy, Junior Browne. That's my guy, Jordan Sharp, man. What's up, Jordan? Everything good with you? How was your weekend?
Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend. Took it light. Didn't bet any football, but enjoyed that Game 6, and we got what we wanted here. I don't know if we got what we wanted, but we're getting another Game 7 in the NBA, which I guess is always a good time today, and we're on top of that. It's a very juicy game, one of the Eastern Conference Finals today, so it was very much anticipatory of today, of the nice slate of hoops on, because Jay and I and Junior were talking before the show, and Jay and I aren't big football fans, so this is kind of a big day for us. And everybody else is big on Sunday, but hopefully everybody who was betting the football had a good weekend as well. How about you, Junior? You said you had a nice little week 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a good week 1. I was on the Bills early. The Jets are a joke. I was on Pittsburgh last night. The Giants are a joke. I don't know what's going on in New York. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Giants looked pretty frisky yesterday. They looked a lot better than I thought they would, but this is a basketball show, so let's get to that. The Clippers, I have not been more disappointed in a team than I am in the Clippers right now. Game 6, I actually I turned the game off because they were up, 16, 18 points. I was like, all right, well, this is going to get ugly. I got other stuff to do. Let me get, I'll go watch the highlights later of the fourth quarter, blowout, et cetera, et cetera. My boy hits me up and he's like, yo, the Clippers are trash. I was like, what the F are you talking about right now? They're not blowing them out. He's like, dog, they're down double digits. I don't even know what else to say, man. I went back, watched the fourth quarter. The Clippers have this attitude like there's somebody that they're not. Your franchise has never even been to the Western Conference Finals. Stop acting like y'all won something and take these Nuggets seriously, because the Nuggets have shown that they got heart. And they might hurt some feelings today. What do you guys think?
No, I mean, they're not going to hurt a whole lot. They might cover the spread full game, but me personally, I don't think that they're going to win this game. I'm not going to say there's no shot, but I can tell you this. The Clippers were smacking them up. Just my assessment of the game. The Clippers were smacking them up. They got super complacent in the second half, obviously up 16 at the half. They came out in the third quarter like the game was already over. Super lackadaisical like the Clippers do. I can't put it on Doc Rivers, even though we see tape of Phil Jackson floating around here saying, you know what I'm saying? We know how Dr. Rivers teams blow leads or whatever, but this is their second 16-point blown lead here. But I can say that in the third quarter, it was part of them. Other half was just the Nuggets. They didn't quit. Michael Porter Jr., Jokic, Murray, they never stopped coming at them. And I can't say the refs. I'm not putting it on the refs, but I'm just saying like the Clippers couldn't buy a call there in the third quarter. It seemed like every single 50-50 call was going towards the Nuggets pretty much all second half. So I'm y'all know me. I'm not one to say that the refs had his hand in it because the Clippers just lost it, but it did look like it, you know what I'm saying, like some people wanted a game 7 in this series. That's the only thing I'm saying. I know a lot of people look at it like whoever the Lakers are going to face, they're going to go into a game 7 situation. And up to this situation, that's pretty much what's happening. Everybody that's faced the Lakers have been, they want them to be tired damn near. So I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation, but that's just, if you watch the game, you know what I mean? Because in the second half there, really, the game was just called a totally different way. But the Clippers, they themselves, they just pissed it away in the third quarter when you gave up the lead there and gave them confidence. The fourth quarter was pretty much over. That fourth quarter was over. Outscored them 34-19. At one point, they outscored them 60-32, man. Nothing else to say about this game. The Clippers, I was on the Clippers first half in full game. Covered the first half, the full game. I can't believe that. I know people lost on money line parlays, all teasers, all type of shit. Parlay with NFL. Some people was hot on Sunday. That's that Sunday NBA, though, but that's the last thing I got to say about this one. Jordan, did you happen to see the second half of the game?
Yeah, I was just looking back as you guys were talking about that. Like the last 3 games or so, the Nuggets defense has showed up, and it's been in the second half that they have showed up. They've come out and really either made an adjustment or just come out with a greater intensity. Like you said in the Clippers, they have a net rating of like plus 32 in the last 3 first halves to get these Clipper teams. Like, I don't know if that's Doc Rivers not keeping his guys motivated or what, but that's got to change if the Clippers are going to win this series, or if they even want a chance at if they win this game and then go on to potentially beat the Lakers, which right now seems very, very far-fetched.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers still going to match up well with them, but that's going to be a deal. I can't wait, man. Let's just say this. I don't think, like I did a little poll yesterday on Twitter, I barely want to put Nuggets on there. In my opinion, Junior, I ain't going to say don't have no chance, but, I mean, come on, man. The Clippers are not losing this damn game. So, you know the slander that they would take if they lost this damn game. I'm not saying they're not going to cover. And you know what I'm saying? That anything can happen with that plus 7.5, but I don't think the Clippers are going to lose this game, Junior. I think they're going on to face the Lakers in the Western Conference. Anything else you got to say about this one, Junior? You think the Nuggets got a chance to win straight up?
No, I don't. I was almost ignorant enough to put a play on the money line for the Clippers just because I think it's such a lock. The Clippers losing before the conference finals after basically mortgaging their whole future. They gave up their whole future to get Paul George. They gave up every goddamn draft pick they have for the next 4 years or some nonsense like that. You can't not. If you lose, you got to lose either in the finals or to one of the teams that wins the championship. Like, you can't be getting knocked off by the Nuggets after you were up 3-1, or people got to get fired.
You know who wants to see that happen, though, is the Warriors, because all those down 3-1 jokes will be not on them anymore and be on the Clippers for the next 3 or 4 years, because you're right. Yeah. Like, that would be horrible.
Now, they still going to be on the Warriors because this ain't the finals. They did that shit in the finals. So they always going to have that slander. That's always going to be with them. But, yeah, the Clippers, the slander that them boys will go through, Kawhi ain't letting that happen. They locked down on defense here. I mean, them boys will come out pissed off. After that lead, they don't get it twisted. They were up, blowing them out a couple of times. They just got super complacent, gave them boys the momentum, and it was really a game changer. So don't get it twisted. The Clippers have shown plenty of times they come out here and smack them up. They just always piss away the lead. If they build a lead today, they're not losing it. I will say that. Junior, what was you about to say?
No, I just don't see any way we see anything but the best version of Kawhi Leonard. I just think he's going to come out in attack mode and just go to work, and they don't really have anybody that can stop him. The Clippers are doing something that was working in the last game, which is they had Kawhi guarding Jokic, so that if they had to switch on that pick and roll, it would still be Paul George or Kawhi guarding Murray. The problem is Jokic got smart and started posting on Paul George a little bit. But I just think on offense, because that's been the Clippers' problem, they haven't scored enough points to really put Denver away. I think Kawhi's going for 40 tonight. And if not, either Paul George or Kawhi is going off tonight. I don't think there's any way the two of them are in the 20s. I think one of them is in the high 30s and the other one is in the high 20s at least.
Yeah, my guys say, some people in the chat say Clippers money line. Let me see. Clippers money line is one of those races worth the massive juice. Somebody else say Clippers money line max play. My guy OG Wham, what's up, Wham? He say Denver might pull it off today. I gotta say, man, if they pull it off, I take the points. I couldn't see the Nuggets win this game. I don't have it in me to bet the Clippers full game. But if it was me betting, it would be Clippers minus 7.5 for sure. Man, definitely look towards them maybe in the first half there. But we might as well go ahead and go to that game first. Let's jump to that game.
We're already talking about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nuggets, the Clippers opened up at 6.5. We see a line adjustment there. We knew that the 8.5 was a little too much. Then you see the Nuggets come back and win straight up. Then they had to adjust it. It was 6.5, moved to 7 damn near immediately, down up to 7.5. The total opened up at 209.5, down to 208.5. We know how the game sevens unders can usually go. Be interesting to see, like you say, of Paul George, which PG we see, PG-13, Pandemic P, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? We know the Kawhi, he's going for 35, 40 tonight. Like, you ain't gonna be able to tell him shit tonight. I can tell you that for sure. Like I say, with the points, it's a whole different ball game, but it'd be interesting to see if the Clippers can get this win here after, possibly choking this one after they was up 3-1. So be interesting to see, Jordan, what you think about this one, my guy. You think the 7.5 is a little too rich?
No, I don't think it's rich at all. I think if you had a free play on this game, I'd be laying the points of the Clippers here just for the reasons we talked about here to open the show. The reputation of so many people for the Los Angeles Clippers are on the line in this one. Playoff P being probably right up there with Doc Rivers in this one after the last 2 games have gone. And you have to think that if the Clippers do lose tonight, and the slander does start tomorrow morning or even later tonight, you know that Paul George and Doc Rivers are going to be the first two to be blamed. So I think those two, I think Paul George coming out and actually having a pretty good game is a pretty good bet for this game if I was going to make a play on this one. Because like you said, Kawhi coming out and playing hard and giving us 30-plus tonight is almost a guarantee as well. You know he's going to come out and give his best effort and try to lock in from moment one. But it's those other parts of the Clippers. Is Patrick Beverley going to stay out of foul trouble and be able to stay on the court and stay in front of Jamal Murray? Is Trez going to continue to be able to give you big minutes? Is Zubac going to be able to match up against Jokic? Well, all these questions, I think, with the Clippers really surround all those other pieces outside of Kawhi. But I think momentum-wise, certainly favors the Nuggets. But that this has been one of those series where you do expect the better team to win. It's just taken a little longer than I think what we expected to. So, and one more thing really quick on this game. I'm really surprised by the total movement here. I thought that with the Clippers lengthening, I thought we'd see the total maybe go up. That's not been the case. I think it's really just been a testament to how good Denver's defense has been. So I think the underbettors could be onto something here. It's just not going to be a one I'm going to back here with the line moving up. Kind of seems to be not correlated to me at all. I'm thinking one of those is going to lose tonight either. So I'm just kind of going to stay away from it. You think all three of us kind of agree that other game we're a little more favored on?
Oh, hell yeah. For damn sure.
This is just the appetizer.
Yeah. It's 11-11.
Yeah.
It's 11-11. Well, that ain't the appetizer because technically the other game first, which I don't mind, but I dig what you're saying. That's the appetizer of the conversation. Junior, what you got to say about this one, my guy? Free play on it. What you think? You think the 7.5 is a little too rich here? You think the Clippers come out with some? You know what I'm saying? We saw the Lakers already close out yesterday. Do the Clippers? They have to come and send a message here. This game can't be close, in my opinion, right, Junior? I mean, they got to send some type of fucking message here. You done got your ass pretty much handed to you in the second half of both these last two games. Are they gonna get up in the first half of this one and keep their foot on their neck here, Junior, or will the slender come?
I just think it's about effort. You guys watched the last game, right? Y'all see the play where Gary Harris gets a steal, they go down, miss, they come down. He gets a steal, they turn it over, they miss a shot, he steals it right back, and then they score. Just the Nuggets just kind of seem to want it more because they were right on the brink of elimination. They did not want to go home. Whereas the Clippers are kind of like, all right, we're up 18, 20 points. All right, what's up with these Lakers, though? And they forgot they were in the game. When you're up 18 points in the third and you're down 10, like halfway through the fourth, that's a monumental collapse, right? Like they like you guys have already said, they literally doubled their score in the second half. So I just think that what you guys already have touched on, I think Kawhi goes into cyborg mode where he's just like, you know what? No matter what you do, I got to answer for this. You know, we saw it last year when he was on the Raptors. When the Raptors offense would struggle like we saw in this year's playoffs, Kawhi was like, all right, enough of this nonsense. Just give me the rock. Let me just take 1-2 dribbles to the spot. Kawhi's the one guy you never hear get criticized for the mid-range game because his mid-range game is so nasty. 1-2 dribbles to his spot, bucket. That's all you're going to see tonight. The Nuggets are not going to have an answer for that, I don't think. And if Paul George shows up, it's going to be a blowout.
Guys, and there's some guys in the chat, man. So Eric Smith, and the Nuggets win, I had to give you credit. He say, Jordan, the better team will win, the Denver Nuggets. So listen here, my guy Eric. So I'm gonna tell you something. I know somebody in the chat said Jay and his conspiracy theories, and this is why I can't live in Vegas or somewhere near the sports book. The Clippers are not losing this game, man. I'm gonna tell you why.
It'd be a disaster for the league.
The NBA needs Clippers versus Lakers. I'm telling you this. They need Clippers versus Lakers, and you're not getting anything else. If they could have that shit as the finals, they would have it as the finals, and I'm not bullshitting you. If they could have this in the NBA, I mean, then that series is going to get more ratings than the finals. I guarantee. Clippers are not losing this game. It's just about if the Nuggets going to be able to keep it close. But that'll be interesting to see. But for guys saying the Nuggets going to win, I'm going to come out and say that I guarantee you that I'm not Charles Barkley, nothing, but I guarantee that the Clippers going to win the game. Like, I don't see the Nuggets winning this game straight up. I don't see. If you like the Nuggets, take them on the spread, man. No, don't you do all that. Try to get too cute, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you do what you do. Anything happen, nothing's guaranteed. So even though I say that nothing's guaranteed, anything can happen. Shit, Kawhi get hurt or something. Anything can happen. So, man, Lord forbid anything like that happen. But I really don't see the refs and the NBA letting the Clippers lose this game. Y'all watch and see what happens. Now let's go. We're going a little backwards here. The Heat. This game starts at 5:30. The other game, the late game, we just rolled it in. Had to talk about the Clippers pissing that game away on Sunday NBA. But we got the Heat here, man. I've been thinking about this game for 2 days, man. I'm surprised they made us wait. I was telling my girl yesterday, I've been thinking about this guy. I can't stop thinking about it. I just can't stop thinking about it. Celtics favored by 1.5 in the first game. It was up to 2 yesterday. It was down to 1 this morning, back up to 1.5. Total opened up at 212. Immediately got hit down to 211, 210.5. It's all the way down to 208.5 now. And what you think about that line movement there, Jordan? Do you agree with the line movement? We've seen both of these teams be locked down defensively. The Eastern Conference Finals now, defense wins championships. You agree with the line movement?
Absolutely, yeah. If you got on the under early, I think you got the better side of that line, simply because these are the two best Eastern Conference bubble defenses so far, and lo and behold, defense wins championships, and the two best teams that have been performing so far in the bubble on the Eastern side are facing off against one another in the Eastern Conference Finals here. I do think the Celtics. I know, and we kind of talked about this beginning of the show. I know there's a lot of people that I think the Celtics are going to win the series, and I'm definitely not going to fade them. But there's something about how Miami matches up with Boston here that just really makes me like them here in Game 1 and to come out and surprise them a little bit. And I think we're all in agreement on that. So I don't want to steal a lot of your thunder, but the main thing that really stuck out to me is just the matchups. How Boston has really been able to play their style of basketball and have been successful at beating the opposing defenses of Toronto and Indiana, and they're not going to have that same sort of success against this Miami defense. Indiana's defense completely collapsed, and Toronto's at times looked pretty pedestrian as well. You're not going to get that same effort from Miami, who match up really well with Jimmy and Jay Crowder. Iggy coming off the bench. They have a lot of guys that can guard the wing players of the Celtics, whereas the last two opponents that the Celtics have faced have not. And I think all of that combined is leading to me to really like the Heat here in this first game. I do think the Heat can win the series. I'm not fading either one of these teams on a series play, but there's enough value. There's not a lot of value in the series bets right now. The value here is the Heat, I think, is underdogs. I got them at plus 105. I got the 1.5 as well on a little bit there. I split that up about 60-40, hoping for the Heat to come out and not come out lackadaisical like they have here in first quarters at times in the playoffs, and actually play up to the task here at hand of beating and winning this game.
What you got, my guy, Junior? The boys better come out. You better not let the Celtics get on your ass early, or it might be a quick series. What you got, Junior?
Heat in my pocket, plus 105. They're taking Game 1. If they win this series, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think anybody would be shocked at this point the way they've looked in the playoffs. They've only lost one game. And even that one game, they had no business losing that game. They really should be undefeated in the playoffs. I actually think that loss was a blessing in disguise for their team because it kind of let them, get refocused on the task at hand. A little, excuse me, a little bit of adversity is good for a team in the playoffs when things are a bit too easy. So just as far as this matchup, I love Bam Adebayo against Tice. I think Bam's going to eat. I think that, and I just think that the Heat are in a nice little groove. And something that Jordan said, that even though the Raptors do have big wings, the Heat have better wings. They have guys that are going to match up better with the Heat wings, which we're talking about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So I like what the Heat can do. I like the Heat's confidence. I like the way Dragic looks. I like the way Butler looks. I like the way Hero looks. I like the way they all looked, if I'm going to be honest. I'm still waiting. Duncan Robinson's bound to go off in one of these games because he still really hasn't gone off yet. He's been okay. He's been all right. But I think Duncan Robinson bound to go off. I'm really riding with the Heat. I mentioned to you that that's probably my future home team when I make this move. But for now, I've been on the Heat all season, so it's not like as if this is something different for me. Plus 105 in my pocket, my guy.
Oh, y'all want to know what I think? Shit, man. Like Junior say, man, the Heat. So these teams are very well matched up. the Duncan Robinson thing, now he has to get hot from three. They've been running him off the 3-point line. That's why he hadn't looked so good. Because I went and watched the last game versus the Bucks, and I didn't like the fact that they come out slow in their first quarter, whatever first half. Obviously, they start picking it up there right before the half, and then smash them in the second half. But I'm watching Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero because we know these are the two key players in this series, and the first thing, I would be a little surprised to see the Heat win this series. I do think that it is going to be Celtics-Lakers for the finals. I do think the Celtics win this series, but in my opinion, the Heat have to win, if not one of these first two games or both. They have to make this a series, because if you let the Celtics, the Celtics is coming off this 7-game series. Mentally, we got to see where they're at. They are young guys, but they have went through this before, whatever. This is a different year for the Celtics, but you just come off that long, grueling series, man, defensive heavyweight title, man. So they did give him a few extra days of rest. But in the first game coming out there, I think the Heat had the advantage. We saw that the Celtics beat them twice already this season, but this wasn't the same team. Then the last time when the Heat beat them, they beat them without Jimmy Butler when they had a Crowder and Iguodala out there. So I really think the bench is going to be huge it's really going to be huge for the bench for the Heat here. And I think Duncan Robinson has to splash the threes, man. He has to splash some three, Tyler Hero, and they can't take advantage on defense, Junior. That's my main thing, because in my opinion, Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, and they know it because Hero even said, we know who they're going after on defense. They're going after me and Duncan Robinson. So it's those two right there. They have to step up on defense, and they have to be one of those because they're really out there for offense. They got to make some threes. If they're not making shots, they're going to be getting taken advantage of on the defense. That's going to happen. And one more tidbit, Jaylen Brown's kind of hurt, man. If you watched the last game, you saw the fall that he took. He was on the injury report with a groin injury, but he is going to play. But I think Jaylen is not 100%, and I think that's going to be huge here maybe in the first couple games. I like the Heat tonight in game one. I don't like them for the series. And if you like the Celtics for the series, it's tough, because if you think
you gotta wait.
It's if you think Celtics gonna win game one, then you had to wait. But if you like the Heat with us, then you like, hey, I hope that they lose game one. Then if we're gonna get some plus money, if they're going down 0-1, you're gonna get a much better price with the series price. I think Celtics gonna win the series no matter what. Even if it goes the same 7 games, even if I hope Heat win first 2 games, guys. That's the last thing I say about this, because I'm talking about Celtics large. In game 3, I'm talking about Lord. But all right, that's enough, man. I like the Heat tonight. I'm on it. I like them.
I just want to say one last thing. I just think that one point that I was making in the last series is that I like the Raptors bench a lot more than the Celtics bench. I love the Heat bench over the Celtics bench. Like the Heat's bench is much better. The Heat's 9th man won the Celtics a playoff series like 3 years ago. Kelly Olynyk. So the Heat got a lot of playoff experience on their bench to mix around with the youth. I just like what they could throw at Boston, and I think this series, as far as who will win it, I don't disagree with Jay. I just think it's more of a 50-50 series, or maybe 51-49 Boston. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just really close, just the way the Heat look right now, which is a specific point that Jay made. Because the way they looked in that bubble game without Jimmy Butler, Bam was eating. Yeah. Bam was eating. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because of that, but I already said before the series that I was on Heat game 1. I was not ever going to change my mind. I hit that line the second it dropped, when I tell you, early, brother, early.
There's 2 things I think about this series that is going to be completely different for Boston from the last 2. The first one is Bam Adebayo. Like the Heat are a considerably better rebounding team than the Boston Celtics, and they have not faced a dynamic big guy like that at all in the playoffs so far. And another thing I was looking up before the show, and I don't know if I'm playing devil's advocate here for the people who are on Boston series, the series here, but one thing I think that they have to be concerned about, especially what Jay was talking about, if Jaylen Brown is indeed nicked up a little bit, and you look at how many wide open shots that Jason Tatum got, like in the first 11 games of the playoffs, so like 1 out of every 3 shots that Tatum has taken has been basically open or wide open in the series. He's been, and especially from threes, like 20% of his threes have been open or wide open. He's not gonna be afforded that same kind of space in this series with how good and dynamic the Miami Wing defense is. If those 2 things are not to their advantage, or at least like neutral, like it was kind of in the last series for them, they're not going to win this series, frankly. So, it's going to be very interesting to me how they guard Tatum and Browne tonight if you're Miami, and who they put on them and for what stretches, and if they switch on them and things like that, because this Miami is just like you guys were saying, they're way too deep. They're going to get their guys enough rest, and they're going to be amped up on defense, hopefully from the start of this one. And it's going to be hard for Boston to score. I think it stretches to this one if they're not if they're not getting Tatum space.
Exactly. But the reason why I say the Celtics, I think that the Celtics are going to win this series. Like I said, I like the Heat, love them game one. I think you kind of have to see how a series is going to play out, in my opinion. I think the Heat, they had to take one of these first games. But I just think as the series goes on, the Celtics are, like I said, I can't make too much of a case for them because I don't want them to look good tonight. But if you want to be seriously, I mean, their starting five is better than the Heat starting five. Obviously, the hints is going to play out, but we know when it comes down to it, the starting five really starts to play more minutes. So it's all going to be about matchups. It's going to be about if Brad Stevens figure out his match. I think that's going to come along the way. Not here, not in game one, maybe not even in game two, but as the series goes along, Brad Stevens will figure out his mismatches. They're pretty damn close to getting Gordon Hayward back as well. I'm pretty sure they might lose. They could lose both of these game twos and get Gordon Hayward back in game three. I could definitely see it. It'll be a whole new series. I could see the Heat going up 2-0, and then Celtics come back and win the next two, and it's a whole new series. 7 games, real, you know what I'm saying, a lot of drama. I could see it playing out, man. I hope it does, and I hope when you kind of see the series play out like that, you can make a lot of money, man, way more than that series price BS. I mean, I ain't calling it BS, but it's just I bet game to game, man, especially on a close series like this. 1.5 spreads, you're going to be getting pick'em spreads pretty much the whole series, man. I'm not betting no series price, man, but that's just the last thing I got to say about it. But, yeah, the Heat do have a lot better bench. You got Dragic over there. Jordan said something there. Bam Adebayo is going to be I love that matchup for them against Tice. My thing is Jay Crowder. You're going to have him on Tatum. Like I say, Duncan Robinson really going to have to step up on Jaylen Brown. They might have to you're going to have Butler and Crowder on Brown and Tatum at all times. But you can't forget about Marcus Smart out there as well because he can kind of get off offensively. I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying? He can get off going to the three, getting to the hole. I've seen it, man. So he's smart, a lot better offensively. But the Dragic and Walker matchup, I really think that's going to be the key. If Dragic can continue his play here in the bubble, that he got a chance real here early here. And like you say, the bench, the bench is light years better, in my opinion. The Celtics got some guys that can step up, but Grant Williams, guys like him can be seeing minutes here. You just can't. I'm sorry. You're going to have to keep it to Ojale, Wanamaker, and Williams, maybe Cantor, but we'll see, man, as the series goes on. But game one, I like the Heat. And the main reason, guys, is Junior already said it on the last show. Whoever loses game 7, I mean, it's not that simple. It's a lot of things goes into it, but whoever lost that game 7, against them in the first game. The Heat rested. Just hope that they don't come out rusty or, you know what I'm saying, the rest over rust, Junior.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's never that simple, right? I'm just basing it on the fact that Boston series with Toronto was a war. Boston should have won that series way earlier. That game 3 buzzer beater was a punch in the stomach, and they had to recover from that. You're not going to tell me it didn't take anything out of them. They're just lucky that the NBA gave them an extra day or two rest compared to the Nuggets, who had to go up against the Clippers right away after their game 7 against Utah. Obviously, that was a different scenario because it was a first round series. But I just think that the way that the Heat are built, especially Spoelstra, you don't think Spoelstra was watching what the Raptors were doing to slow down the Celtics, and he's going to use that, but with his players? He's not gonna do exactly what they did, but Spoelstra is one of the best game planners in the NBA, and we all know that. A championship experienced coach, and he's gonna have his guys ready to go. So I just believe that I'm kind of just riding with the Heat momentum. On top of this very specific fact, the Celtics hit 87 threes against the Raptors, which is a lot of threes. They hit like 12 a game, right? 12 and a half a game, but they only scored 105 points a game. 105 points a game is not going to get it done against the Heat. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to need more than 105 points a game. So I just think that the way the Heat are playing defense right now, they could really slow down this Boston Celtics offense. And then Celtics, as usual, Brad Stevens is going to make adjustments. And then game 2 will be a different story. But I just think the Heat have the advantage in game 1 being the team that's sitting back and waiting to see and planning how they're going to take on this opponent.
Got you. Jordan, we know that the Heat, the big difference from here, both of them, so they face 2 defensive teams, the Raptors and now the Heat. Raptors are elite defensively. They don't have them shooters like the Heat have, and I think that's the real big difference. That's why I say Hero and Duncan Robinson, if they could just give us a little bit of defense, their shooting is going to be key. Like guys like Jay Crowder hitting threes, Jimmy Butler been starting to shoot a lot more threes, Dragic hitting the threes. They got a lot more shooters than they had to worry about versus the Raptors. That's the last thing I gotta say, Jordan. Jordan, you're mute on.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
If Miami's netting double-digit threes in this one, say goodnight to Boston, they're going to lose in 5 games. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that point. I was just thinking, I think what something you just mentioned, though, made me think of if Miami on defense is getting out, and can force pressure on some of these Boston wings and to make them work a little bit harder than they have been so far in the playoffs. That's going to help their offense just as much too, because they're going to get a lot of easy baskets. Boston, neither of these teams turn the ball over that much, but the team that forces the most turnovers on defense and wins that fast break fast break points battle, I think may win the series. I think that definitely will correlate in this one here, because you're right. I mean, like offensively, both teams have a lot of weapons. I mean, you could 3 or 4 guys could go for 20 points on either team any given night, but whoever gets out and forces them to make mistakes and forces the other team to take bad shots is probably going to be the one to win this series. I think that's Miami does that tonight. Whether or not they're able to sustain that and get 4 wins out of that series is another huge question. But you're right. I think for all the other reasons, I think Miami does that as well tonight.
You know what? I just like it that we all in agreement, man. I mean, I like it. So we either all gonna be happy tomorrow or we're gonna be pissed, man. So I mean, I'm on the Heat. I didn't take the money line just because I'm not somewhere where I can right now, but I'm cool with the plus 1.5. Don't get it twisted. I ain't forced. I'll get 1.5. You dig what I'm saying? What I'm arguing for? I'm finna go get that 1.5, and I'm gonna be happy, and I ain't got no problem with it. You dig what I'm saying? If I lose, I just got to lose. This is a game, like I said, I've been thinking about for 2-3 days, bro. I couldn't wait to bet it, to be honest with you. I like the Heat, man. I got the black and red on, red shorts, the red socks. I'm going to have my red Jordan shorts on with my special he got game 13s today, man. I warned them when the Rockets won game 1. We on the Heat game 1. Goddamn me. I had them on when the Heat beat the Bucks as well in game 1. Let's keep this shit going, man. We've been hitting these game 1s. Team that's ready versus one that's not. Let's go, man. Let's keep this shit going today, Junior. Wait, what you break him off with your official play or whatever you leaning, my guy, before we get out of here, my guy.
Yeah, I'm on the Heat plus 105. I see some people in the chat, they say we're going to be disappointed. I won't be disappointed whatever the outcome is, because I just finished saying that I think it's a 51-49 series in favor of Boston. It's very, very close. So if I lose my play, I'll just study up and make a better decision on the next game. It's never that serious. You're just trying to make the best decision game to game, day to day. Let's get some money.
Exactly. It is. It's pretty serious to me. It is. And I'm
saying the losses. You can't
I know what
losses.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, I'm still gonna be pissed though. And I got a problem. I probably shouldn't bet. I'm gonna tell you guys. I probably shouldn't. I like winning, but I really hate losing, and even more of my money. So I probably shouldn't bet, but I do it anyway. So I'm still gonna go and bet the shit. So I like it. I think it's gonna win, man. And y'all know me. I'm not betting if it's just some y'all. Oh, they might win. I like this shit, man. I'm on it. I hope they win the first 2 games. Because then that's going to give me a whole nother. It's just going to be lovely, Jordan. Oh, man. It's going to be lovely, Jordan, if the Heat win these first 2 games, Jordan. I promise you, man.
That's bold. I don't know, man. I wish I could get odds on that, because that'd be pretty nice to see a team to go up 2-0 in this series. I don't think anybody's offering those. But, yeah, I'm on Miami as well tonight. I got about a 60-40 split between spread and money line. I got plus 105 on the money line. I got plus 1.5 in my pocket. Let's get this dub, boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to my online books. I'm gonna have to hit their ass up for some online, for some money line as well, man. I know Bovada probably giving me a plus 110. What them boys got, because they had a 2, yes. They got plus 105. Heritage got plus 110, man. So you wait. This one you could see possibly some more Celtics. I'm seeing the Razors real split. So I mean, you might not see much line movement here. I wouldn't argue out a Heat money line. I'm taking plus 1.5 and probably have some on the money line. Y'all know what's up, man. We're trying to get some cash. Y'all hit the like button and subscribe. Whether you like the Celtics or the Heat tonight. I mean, I'm leaning towards the Clippers. They probably won't. One guy in the chat said a little teaser there with Heat and Clippers. I love that. Because me personally, I don't think there's no way Clippers gonna lose. And I mean, I like the Heat to win, so you're gonna tease that up. I couldn't argue out of that shit at all, man. At all, that Heat and Clippers teaser there. I wouldn't argue nobody out of that, man. I love it. Matter of fact, so let's get some cash, man. Y'all come back and holler at us tomorrow or the next day, or real quick. What is it? Some games tomorrow? What is it? Is it a game tomorrow? We still gotta wait, right? We still waiting, guys.
We'll wait until Thursday.
Yeah, so Thursday. So we're going to have a game on Thursday. I mean, I would like to come on tomorrow, but we're going to have a whole lot to talk about. So we'll be back Thursday for sure, man. Y'all go to SBR Pigs for NBA. Check out all the articles we have over there, sportsbookreview.com. Compare the odds. Like I say, especially if you're taking a money line and you got multiple books, don't take that plus 105 or plus 100 when you go get plus 110, man. Come on, bro. Be smart about your bets, man. It's all about the money. Don't let the bookmakers screw you over, man. Let's get them cheddar out of them boys. Milk the shit out of them boys, man. Make them boys go out of business, man. Let's get some cash today. Y'all go and hit the sports book and, you know what I'm saying, go and hit the bookmaker up. Let's get some cash, man. Appreciate y'all for watching Jam with Jim Money.